I'm a 5th grader student from San Francisco Community School. Miss Zapata is one of my greatest teachers, and I go to the same school with her kids, Renee and Manolo. SF Community School is in the Excelsior District, and John Avalos is our supervisor, and soon is going to be our mayor. I'm here to fight for John because John fights for us, and we should pay him back by fighting for him to be our mayor. Do we want John to be our mayor? Never! Do we want John to be our mayor? And now, from the Excelsior District 11, ladies and gentlemen, welcome John Avalos!
A future mayor of San Francisco, all right! Yusuf has been part of our rallies, marching from the Excelsior District to City Hall to demand funding for education. Thank you, Yusuf, our future leader, our future mayor of San Francisco. Hello! Hello, San Francisco! It is so incredible to see you here. I see so many faces I've known through the years, and it's such a joy to see you here. My heart is swollen. It's just so exciting, and this is the diversity of San Francisco. This is what San Francisco is all about, your faces, and it is beautiful. Sorry, I think it's good. So I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me the inspiration, the encouragement to do this crazy campaign. All right. This is the most amazing thing I've ever done in my life. I know with you here, I am not doing it alone. I'm doing it with you. And San Francisco is at the crossroads. Will it be business as usual in City Hall, or can we create a new era of open government, of community participation, and public service that's devoted to the common good? That's what's at stake in this election today. I'm running for mayor so I can work with you to make San Francisco a compassionate city, a city that's committed to social justice, a city that can live up to its namesake, St. Francis. As your mayor, I want to work with you in this effort and use the administration with new energy, new vitality, and all the resources a mayor's administration has to create the city we know we can create. My politics and my entering politics is deeply rooted in who I am, where I came from, and my family background. I was born in Los Angeles from a working class family. My father worked the docks of the Port of Los Angeles. I remember in the early days when I was a young kid, he had a hook, and he used to use the hook to grab bales of cotton and bales of and crates of bananas, and he'd work day shifts and night shifts. I would see him come home exhausted, and he'd spend the day sleeping. We were 6 of us in our house, 6 brothers and sisters in our house, and we made the most racket you could ever imagine, and he slept through all of it because he worked so hard for us. I remember my father on the picket line, struggling with his union members, striking, and we would go weeks on end eating mostly beans, rice, and tortillas because that's all we could afford to eat in a desperate time. I remember my father on TV speaking on behalf of his friends and union members, and I remember being so proud of my dad and what he was doing. And I learned from him the values of hard work, of devotion to something much greater than yourself, and to fight and stand for what you believe in. That's right. And that's what I want to do as your mayor of San Francisco. I also had a mother, and my mother was a very talented woman, but she made great sacrifices for her parents and also for her children. So what could have been a real promising career was spent raising families and making sure we had the best opportunities we could ever have. My parents were divorced when I was 10, and my mom for 2 years struggled to put money on the table, to feed us, and to nurture us. And I know from that experience, I've learned where my compassion comes from. So I want to thank my mom and my dad for being who they are and making me what I am here today. My dad's name is Hector Avalos. My mom's name, Orlinda Avalos, and now it's Orlinda Parks. And I love them greatly. I also have a wonderful wife, Karen Zapata, who's here. And standing next to Karen Zapata is my brother Vincent. And you all might know Karen. Karen is involved in so many things. You can say a lot about Karen. There's many rounds, many places where you know Karen, but I'll say a few things about Karen. She's an amazing companion, a wonderful mother, a great teacher, and she's a great, inspiring friend to so many people who are in this park here today. With Karen, we have 2 kids, Renee and Emiliano. Folks might know my daughter Renee's story. She was born 4 months early. She weighed 1 pound, 3 ounces, and it took all the tenacity and spirit for her to survive and get home from the hospital. And she is an amazing young kid. We have spent hours to nurture her and to help her grow, and you see what an amazing child she is. We have a son, Emiliano. He was born 16 days late. And he's got the most intoxicating spirit you could ever imagine. He's got a passion and joy for life that I hope you get to meet him here today. I love them all dearly, and my wonderful family is backing me in this election campaign, and I feel so grateful for that. Let me just get my notes here together.
All right. True sentences. Good, John.
Mayor.
So both of my parents believed in education. They had high school degrees. That's what they were able to get for themselves before they entered the workforce. But they supported me in getting my education, and my brother as well. My brother Vince and I were the first people in our family, and all the generations of our family before us, to get a 4-year college education. So I went on to get my master's degree in social work, and since that time I've devoted my time to educating young people, to organizing with community members and union members, and fighting for children, youth, and families in San Francisco. And that's where I've come from, into public service, into electoral politics. But this election is not about my background, it's about San Francisco. And I want you to know what I've experienced and what I value. I'm telling you that because it's what's going to make me a great mayor. It's going to make me do all my work hard for you and for all of San Francisco. Yeah. And what a time to be in public office. What an extraordinary time. We're in the middle of the Great Recession. We have joblessness that continues unabated. And in our country and in San Francisco, we see that wealth is accumulating into fewer and fewer hands. We see growing poverty. Low-income people are growing in massive amounts, and the middle class is shrinking. And in San Francisco, we have a foreclosure crisis. A lot of people don't think it even exists, but it affects the Excelsior, Lakeview neighborhoods, Visitation Valley, the Sunset, and Bayview Hunters Point. And it's something that's really terrible for communities of color. We're seeing African Americans and Latino families losing their wealth, leaving San Francisco and coming back and being replaced with a wealthier sort in the city. We need to be able to preserve our diversity, preserve our African American community, preserve our Latino community, and make sure people cannot be foreclosed on in their homes. And that's something I commit to you as your mayor. As a city, we are forced to do more with less. And instead of sharing the wealth with all the city's inhabitants, we're asking people to share in the pain. I know we can do better than that.
Thank you. Share the wealth.
And with me I won't be asking you to share the pain because I believe government should work more, should work for everyone, and especially the least among us. I'm running for mayor to even the playing field. I'm running for mayor to rebuild San Francisco. I want to strengthen our school district. I want to strengthen our local economy with green jobs and stronger partnerships between responsible businesses, government, and community. I'm running for mayor to build housing that supports low-income people and middle-class people. We need housing that supports our environment around transit, that makes sure that we're reducing our reliance on oil and we can limit greenhouse gas emissions. We need housing and development for the future of our planet, and that's what I want to do. I want our streets to be safe for children, for seniors, for pedestrians and cyclists, and I commit to you to work on that day in and day out. Under my administration, I will expect to have the highest level of integrity of service from all levels of government, especially our department heads and our managers. We cannot have the same business as usual that greases the wheels with lobbyists, to make sure that we can have open government and we make decisions in plain view where people have information about how we do our decision making at City Hall. And as your mayor, I will not run away from tough decisions. I will stand up to special interests as I always have in my work at City Hall. And I will make my choices. I'll put the interests of the collective above the interests of the few, day in and day out. San Francisco is an amazing blend of native residents and immigrants. I want to honor, as mayor, I will honor our sanctuary city. And our sanctuary city is not just for people who are immigrants from outside the country. Whether you have come to San Francisco because you're gay from Altoona, Pennsylvania, or Uganda, or a Jew from the Ukraine, or a Palestinian from Ramallah, or an entrepreneur from southern China, or a business person from the Yucatan, I want to make sure our city can serve you better, can shelter you, can keep you safe, and provide you with opportunity. And as a city, we are at the crossroads. And only we can change the tide. It will take a movement of everyday San Franciscans. Our train starts here, this park, Victoria Manolo Draves Park, named after a Filipina Olympic diver. A park that came out of a community struggle, residents wanting to change a dilapidated school that sat right here on this site, to create a new park, a new building, a new service in the South of Market neighborhood, the focal point of the great changes that are happening in San Francisco. If we can make changes in this little park here, we can make changes all across San Francisco. And I want to work on with you together. The train starts here. And by November's election, it will travel through the Mission District. It will travel through the Excelsior. It will travel through the Bayview. It will travel through Viz Valley, the Sunset, the Richmond, and it'll travel through Chinatown. Our campaign needs to be about all neighborhoods and all communities. Asian community, the Latino community, the African American community, the white community, the Filipino community, people rich, people poor, seniors, children. It's going to be us working together that's going to create the change in San Francisco that we want to see. Only working together can we create change and not have change happen to us against our will. And it'll take a movement of everyday San Franciscans to elect a mayor we want to see in City Hall. And I want to recruit you to this movement. Not to elect me, but to build the San Francisco that we want to see together. Are you with me? Will you join me on the train? Thank you so much.